What?
Coming up here to
All right, come on up here to accept your award. About species that are currently dying off, we have someone here who studies long dead creatures. He's a paleontologist. Not all the creatures he studies are necessarily extinct. At least they have passed on some. He blogs at March of the Fossil Penguins. Let me repeat that for you tweeters out there. March of the Fossil Penguins. And paleontologist, really fun to talk to. And he's going to talk to us about something that I'll bet most of us are the kind of people that always wondered this when we looked at pictures of dinosaurs and they're always green or gray or brown. How could they possibly know what color the dinosaurs are? Daniel Ksepka.
Thanks very much, Brian. Appreciate it. So 5 minutes, and I'd like to talk to you all about tiny sausages and microscopic M&Ms. And this is my first beer. So these structures are known to scientists as melanosomes, and they have changed everything that paleontologists know about the evolution of color. So melanosomes are organelles, and that means they're parts of cells. They're very small. We can't see them without a microscope. And their job is to impart color to biological structures. So there's melanosomes in our hair. If you have a cat or a dog, there's melanosomes in their fur. Birds have melanosomes in their feathers. So these structures carry little pieces of pigment. They're like tiny bags in the cells that carry pigment granules. And what's great about melanosomes is they're incredibly tough. They last forever. They're very stable. They don't like to combine with other molecules. And they preserve a very, very long time. They're one of the most easily preservable parts of an animal other than the bone. So we actually have fossil melanosomes. And the first time they were discovered, and Trish will probably appreciate this, is in a squid. So a scientist named Jakob Winter working at Yale in 2008 had a fossil squid with a black splotch in the middle of it. And he said, could this possibly be ink? Because this is where the ink sac is in a living squid. And to test this, he looked at it under a microscope, looked at the chemical composition, and it turned out that there were melanosomes preserved there. And so we had 100-million-year-old squid ink. And then Jakob's a great scientist. I actually got to meet him in Germany during Spargel Fest, which is a festival celebrating the arrival of asparagus. So I assure you, and it's not just asparagus, it's that very white asparagus that they build up the soil around. Very good. Anyway, Jakob and his team made an important inference, and that's that different melanosomes are responsible for different colors. And so the tiny sausage I mentioned, a eumelanosome looks like a microscopic sausage. It's small, elongate, rod-shaped, and that type of melanosome creates the color black and some types of grays. The little round M&M-shaped ones, they're much more disc-shaped, much more spherical. They're responsible for colors like reds and browns. And so when we have fossil melanosomes, we can fill in the color that a dinosaur was. We can look at structures like feathers, and many, many dinosaurs have feathers preserved. We have literally dozens of fossil dinosaurs with feathers, including tyrannosaurs. So we now know there were Tyrannosaurus rex cousins that were gray. And we have some dinosaurs with amazing patterns. And this makes sense because birds are descendant from meat-eating dinosaurs. So we have the small Sinosauropteryx. It has red stripes on its tail. Amazing, a beautiful little creature. We have even evidence of different patterns, different types of reflective surfaces. And that's because later we found out that the way melanosomes are stacked changes the way they reflect light. So if you have a thin layer of perfectly stacked melanosomes, it will change the angle that light leaves that feather, and it will create iridescence. So if you've seen a grackle or a starling, a shiny bird like that, a hummingbird, they have that type of structure in their melanosomes. And recently, Microraptor, small cousin of Velociraptor with a sickle claw on its foot, was discovered to have reflective feathers, to have iridescent feathers. And so this is a short talk. I'll leave you with the image of a very shiny, tiny dinosaur up in a tree. And I'd be very happy to talk to any of you later if you have more questions. Thank you.
All right. Dan, you came in. I feel like I should ask you a question because you only did about 3.5 minutes. Does somebody have a question about anything you just heard right there for Dan? A question.
So far we've found feathers in many different species of dinosaurs. The first feathers were discovered in theropods, the meat-eating dinosaurs. Since then, they've discovered feathers in other animals, plant-eating dinosaurs as well. So relatives of Triceratops, for example, have feathers. So we believe that all dinosaurs ancestrally had feathers, and some large species may have lost them, kind of like an elephant or a hippo. Very large animals sometimes lose their body coating to be more efficient at shedding heat.
And you told me the other day, is this not true, that you said, like, we've learned that dinosaurs are, that birds are descended from dinosaurs, but you actually said birds are dinosaurs, aren't they?
Yes, I'll be tricking my students with this on Monday morning. I hope none of them are here because I teach a dinosaurs class. and I always show a picture of a dinosaur and say, is this a dinosaur? Everyone gets it right. Woolly mammoth, they get it right. And bird, everyone gets it wrong. One or two kids. They are direct descendants of theropod dinosaurs. And so the way we classify animals, they are true dinosaurs. So there are dinosaurs alive today.
So all the dinosaurs were not made extinct.
I apologize that they're not stegosaurs, but there are dinosaurs out there.
Is that what you were going to? Okay, excellent, good, because we only have time for one more.
Please read his mind too, Brian.
What?
Read his mind as well.
It's filthy in there.
Oh, God.
Stop right there, sir. Right, something.
Yeah, 65 million years
survived.
ago, there's an asteroid impact. Dinosaurs go extinct. Many other animals, plesiosaurs, flying pterosaurs, mosasaurs, all these things go extinct. Mammals survive, birds survive, and we believe several types of birds survive. So penguins probably survived. I can talk to you more about this later if you want the evidence, but probably several different types of birds survived that extinction. And of course, mammals, because we're all here today.
Excellent. Daniel Ksepka.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And, our speakers will be available, like I said, to talk to. And then even though Scott Hewler had to leave, he left me a couple of his business cards. He was the one that spoke about Waze, that data gathering app that's probably monitoring you right now, even though you haven't downloaded and may not have a smartphone. If you're interested in talking to him, he left a couple business cards.